Have you ever noticed how movies have a way of making time stand still? Take this woman, for example. The last time most of us saw Haylay Mills, she was a blue-eyed little girl with an impish smile. Well, Hayley still has blue eyes, but she's all grown up now and ready to do something about it.
You're much too young to go around discussing things you don't know anything about.
She was blonde, she was British, and in a class by herself. From 1960 to 1965, Haylay Mills was not only one of the world's most popular child stars, but one of the most talented as well. The Parent Trap was one of her biggest films. In it, she played twin sisters who switched places with one another to reunite their divorced parents. 20 years later, Hayley has just completed The Parent Trap 2 for the Disney Channel. She's twins again, but all grown up with families and kids. For Hayley, working for Disney has been like coming home.
They're a marvelous company to work for. They look after you extremely well and with great kindness and consideration.
What kind of a role did Walt Disney play in all this as far as, was he a mentor or a buddy, or did he give you good advice, or?
Oh, I was very, very fond of Walt. I really loved him. He was very kind and very, very sweet to me and my family always. Whenever we saw movies at his house, in his private viewing theatre, he spent most of the time concocting milkshakes at his milkshake bar at the back of the...
Walt Disney made you a milkshake?
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
He made me about 6 probably during one film.
As a child star, Hayley was made well aware of the perils of the movie business by her father, actor John Mills. Yet her enormous fame was bound to have an effect.
One of the problems, I think, about living constantly in Hollywood is that you begin to think that the only important thing is fame and acquiring possessions.
Another problem was that Hayley was growing up, and Disney was like a parent who couldn't let go. And feeling as though she needed to broaden her horizons, Hayley retired from films, raised a family in England, and turned to the stage. But now she's ready for features again, and not the least bit regretful of her most unusual childhood.
There's a wonderful quotation: "It's no good polishing the bars of the cage if you don't feed the bird inside." You know, and Hollywood is full of wonderful, colourful, gilded cages and unhappy little birds inside. So I'm very happy with my life and very happy with my children and working in the theatre, and very happy to have come and made the Parent Trap 2 sequel. And it was marvellous.
Let's get together right away. We'll be having twice the fun.
25 years ago, Haylay Mills got together with Haylay Mills in The Parent Trap, a lighthearted Disney comedy about twin sisters scheming to get their divorced parents back together.
That was wonderful, girls.
Seems like 100 years ago. More like 200. I'm going to the kitchen to get a soda. Do you want anything?
Mills is recreating the double role of Sharon, the staid Bostonian, and Susan, the pert Californian, for The Parent Trap 2.
It's terribly confusing in this movie because there's Sharon and there's Susan, but then Susan comes along and impersonates Sharon. So you have Susan impersonating Sharon, being Sharon, and then Sharon gets into a disguise to fool Susan. So I never know where I am or who I'm being. Well, how do I look?
This time it's Sharon who gets caught in the Parent Trap when her daughter Nikki and best friend Mary decide to play matchmakers. The two kids enlist Susan to come from California and help woo Mary's widowed father, played by Tom Skerritt.
My car broke down in the market, that's why I had to call a cab.
Where are the kids?
What kids?
Oh, no!
What on earth's wrong?
Of course, two roles require twice the work, but an added difficulty occurs when both characters must be on screen simultaneously.
When you have a split screen, you've only got half the camera frame to work in, so you don't have as much physical freedom of expression, because if you suddenly go like that in a rather expansive way, your hand will disappear in the shot.
The Disney Channel will feature the original Parent Trap in June and the sequel in July. But will there be a Parent Trap 3?
That's a dreadful thought. God forbid. Two's quite enough.